Mephisto. Just the name alone hits heavy, doesn't it? The guy who makes impossible deals, twists, fate, and always walks away with something. But what happens when he starts messing with the most powerful heroes and villains in the Marvel Universe? Mephisto's Blacklist is basically one big mind game, where the price you pay is never what you expect. Of course, Mephisto doesn't always get his way. Over time, the devil's tried to manipulate all kinds of heroes and villains, but sometimes his plans just fall apart. He's powerful, sure, but there are forces out there that don't bow to him so easily. And today, we're going to take a look at the ones who got caught, or almost caught, in his twisted schemes. You ready to find out whose lives he's ruined? Let's go. Peter Parker. Peter Parker's story with Mephisto is one of the most iconic and heartbreaking moments in comic book history. In One More Day, Peter's stuck with an impossible choice: save Aunt May's life after she gets seriously hurt in an attack, or let her die. Desperate, he turns to Mephisto. And of course, the devil sees it as the perfect opportunity. In exchange for saving May, Mephisto wants something huge. He wants to erase Peter's marriage to Mary Jane. And it's not just wiping their memories. He literally makes it so their whole relationship never happened. No wedding, no shared life, nothing. That love story that meant everything to Spider-Man? Gone. Like it never even existed. The cost was massive, and Peter's been carrying the weight of that decision ever since. It's one of Mephisto's darkest deals. He didn't just mess with a hero's life, he tore out a piece of his happiness. And the big question is, was it worth it? Victor Von Doom. Victor Von Doom, yeah, the genius, megalomaniac ruler of Latveria, already had it all. Power, brains, ambition that knew no limits. But there was one thing that haunted him: the loss of his mother, her soul trapped in hell. Unable to live with that pain, Doom did the unthinkable. He went to Mephisto and challenged the devil himself. The deal? Doom wanted his mother's soul freed, no matter what it took. And Mephisto, as always, knew exactly where to hit. He offered Doom a deal, but with a brutal price. Doom didn't just accept it, he straight up tried to outplay Mephisto. But here's the thing: Mephisto's game is rigged. Always has been. And Doom found that out the hard way. Even after the deal, Mephisto had more tricks up his sleeve, and the pain of losing his mother just got replaced with new kinds of suffering. This was a deal born from Doom's unchecked ambition, and in the end, even he couldn't escape Mephisto's web. Frank Castle. In one of the wildest stories in the Marvel Universe, Frank Castle, the Punisher, meets a brutal end. But that's where things take a seriously crazy turn. In Cosmic Ghost Rider, Frank dies, and ends up making a deal straight with Mephisto. In some alternate future, instead of accepting death, he decides his war isn't over. It just needs a new form. That's when the devil steps in with an offer: become the new Ghost Rider, but this time powered up with some insane cosmic energy. What Mephisto doesn't tell Frank, of course, is that this power comes with a heavy price. By taking on the Ghost Rider mantle, Frank locks himself into an even deeper cycle of vengeance and damnation. Sure, he's got godlike powers now, but he's also totally wrapped around Mephisto's finger. The bond between them is stronger than ever, and every decision Frank makes with this new power pushes him further down a darker path. Now, as the Cosmic Ghost Rider, he's at the heart of a cosmic war, and the price he paid for that deal with Mephisto? Way worse than he ever imagined. Phil Coulson. Phil Coulson, the most trusted agent in S.H.I.E.L.D., was always the hero behind the scenes. But what happens when he makes a deal with Mephisto? In Heroes Reborn, from 2021, Coulson goes through something way bigger than any mission he's ever been on. After dying in battle, Mephisto brings him back. But of course, the devil doesn't do favors for free. Coulson doesn't return as the man he once was. Instead, he becomes a major piece in Mephisto's bigger game. Now, he's leading a whole alternate reality, one completely shaped and controlled by Mephisto. This version of Coulson? It's a twisted take on the hero we knew. He's got insane power, sure, but none of the freedom a real hero would have. His resurrection comes with a brutal catch. He's just another victim caught in Mephisto's web. He might be in charge on the surface, but he's really just a pawn in the devil's hands, and he doesn't even fully realize how deep the manipulation goes. Before we dive deeper into this dark list of Mephisto's deals and mind games, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the epic stuff happening in the world of comics. Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn, the evil genius and creator of the Green Goblin, has always been driven by his obsession with power and control. But what most people don't know is that before he became Spider, man's biggest enemy, Norman had already made a dark deal with Mephisto in Amazing Spider-Man number 72. From 2021, the truth finally comes out. Back when Oscorp was about to go under and Norman was desperate, Mephisto, disguised as a businessman, shows up with an offer that's way too tempting to pass up. The devil promises him total success, power, and of course, his fortune back. But the price? His soul and the future of his son, Harry Osborn. Blinded by his hunger for success, Norman takes the deal without realizing the real cost would be his own humanity. What he didn't know is that his descent into madness as the Green Goblin wasn't just about power, it was part of a twisted fate sealed by Mephisto, who was pulling the strings the whole time. And the tragedy that hit his son Harry? That's one of the darkest consequences of making a deal with the devil. Miles Morales. Miles Morales, the Spider-Man from the Ultimate Universe, has a pretty interesting run-in with Mephisto. At one point, after facing a heartbreaking loss, Miles gets approached by the devil himself with a tempting offer. Mephisto tries to cut a deal. He'll bring back two people Miles lost, Miss Marvel and Viv Vision, both of them close allies. In return, of course, he offers Miles power, but with the catch that something important has to be sacrificed. The thought of getting them back is almost too much to resist. Miles has already been through so much as a hero, so much pain and tragedy. But, like always with Mephisto, it's never that simple. Even though Miles has always stood for what's right, making a deal with the devil pulls him into a twisted game of manipulation, where Mephisto holds the strings, not just over his life, but over the people he cares about most. No matter how much of a hero he is, Miles still ends up tangled in Mephisto's web. And one way or another, the devil always collects. Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer, aka Norrin Radd, is easily one of the most complex heroes in the Marvel Universe. And his connection with Mephisto? It's more than just a rivalry, it's an almost mystical obsession from the devil's side. See, the Surfer's soul is known as one of the purest, noblest in the entire universe. To Mephisto, that's not just rare, it's the ultimate prize. He sees it as a symbol of greatness, something he could use to boost his power and influence big time. Over the years, Mephisto's tried countless times to corrupt or claim the Surfer's soul, tempting him with promises of cosmic power, control over the universe, you name it. But Norrin's purity? It's like a slap in the face to Mephisto, and that just makes him even more obsessed. In multiple storylines, the devil pulls out all the tricks, deals, illusions, power-ups, all in exchange for the Surfer's soul. But the thing is, Norrin represents justice, redemption, and hope, and he never gives in, no matter how good the offer sounds. For Mephisto, owning the Silver Surfer would be the ultimate win, but Norrin's resistance turns it into one of the most intense, personal battles the devil's ever faced. It's like a never-ending chase, and Mephisto just can't stand the idea of not winning. Wow, that was a lot of dark deals, huh? Mephisto really doesn't hold back when it comes to messing with people's fates. But if you like this video, I've got a feeling you're gonna love the next one. Right here on the end screen, we've got a video all about the 10 most powerful heralds of Galactus. Click it now and find out who the real cosmic powerhouses are riding with the Devourer of Worlds. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. It's an epic journey, and you'll definitely want to be along for the ride. Go check it out.